As we just heard, measures to create more housing and make it more affordable are expected to feature prominently in tomorrow's budget. The latest figures from the Canadian Real Estate Association show the average cost of a home in February was just under $817,000. The cost of renting is up almost 5% from this time last year. Canada has the fewest number of houses per 1,000 people in the G7 at just 424. So, high expectations for help in the budget. Ahmed Hussen is Canada's Minister of Housing. He joins me now. Minister, good to see you again. Thanks for taking time to speak with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Look, there are lots of leaked reports tonight. We're hearing lots of information that the budget will contain $10 billion over 5 years for housing initiatives. What can you tell us?
Well, I can't speak to what is in the budget. We will have to wait for Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland to unveil the budget, and I'm obviously hopeful that, for the last 5 budgets, our government has consistently increased investment in housing through the National Housing Strategy, but you'll have to wait for Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland's budget tomorrow to find out what's in there.
Reasonable to assume, though, and that's what a lot of the leaks are based on tonight, is the election promises. Should we expect the budget to follow through with, and what have you been pitching as minister on a couple of key things, a ban on foreign buyers purchasing residential property for 2 years, and this tax-free savings account allowing people under 40 to save up to $40,000 for their first home. Those were election promises. Are those things that you expect to see in the budget?
Well, we're moving forward on all our commitments, including making sure that we contribute to more housing supply in Canada through the Housing Accelerator Fund. This is something that we made a commitment to Canadians, and in addition to that, we intend to work very closely with provinces, territories, and municipalities, Indigenous governments, and organizations to make sure that we continue the federal investments in housing through the National Housing Strategy, through investments in making sure, for example, that we continue to support Canadians through rent supplements through the Canada Housing Benefit. These are things that we committed to Canadians to continue to do, and we're doing exactly that.
How concerned are you that providing those kinds of incentives and supports for home buyers in particular will actually push up prices by keeping the demand higher? Do you worry about that?
Well, our supports for home buyers are limited to only first-time home buyers, and we know that many first-time home buyers need a little bit of support so that they can turn from renters into homeowners, and that's something we're proud to do. As a government, we feel that it is our responsibility to help as many Canadians as possible to access their dream of home ownership through programs like the First-Time Home Buyer Incentive. What we've heard from Canadians is that they need us to enhance that program, and we will do exactly that and address all the other issues that are related to home ownership, including, for example, making sure that there's more supply in this country. And one of the ways to do that is to work directly with municipalities to see how we can help them to overcome the barriers to building more supply for everyone across the housing spectrum and build it faster.
How do you get around that?
Well, I mean, if you look at our Rapid Housing Initiative, which was launched in 2020 as a result of COVID, it was our government's response to COVID's challenge with respect to housing the most vulnerable Canadians. We were able, between the first and second round, to exceed our targets, and the result is and will be over 10,250 homes built in 12 months or less. We did that in partnership with municipalities, with nonprofits, with Indigenous governments and communities, and so when the federal government stepped up and put those, there was only 2 conditions to that program. One was that you had to build in 12 months or less, and the second one was that you had to target 1 or more vulnerable populations. And guess what? People stepped up, and that is the kind of collaboration that results in tens of thousands of Canadians having access to deeply permanent and affordable housing and taken off the street and given a safe and affordable place to call home. So these are transformational investments, and we'll continue to do exactly that.
You talked about the Rapid Housing Program, which provides money to municipalities to build modular homes or to buy and retrofit buildings for affordable housing. That's a demand of municipalities and of the NDP as part of the deal you made with them. The Prime Minister said it would be extended for a year. Should it be extended longer than that, given the take-up and the impact?
Well, I got to add to what you just said. 38% of the first round of the Rapid Housing Initiative investments went to Indigenous communities, because that's where the need is greatest. And in the second round, it's as high as 41%. So it shows you that the program is working, and we're very happy with the fact that it will now be available for an additional year, and we'll continue to make those investments and continue to collaborate with communities and nonprofits and cities that have demonstrated really an agility, a nimbleness, the ability to move very quickly.
But I guess what I'm asking is if the take-up is so good, if the program's so successful, why just extending it for another year? Because then the sort of the momentum you're building sort of comes to a dead stop, doesn't it?
Well, this was a program, actually. It was a temporary program. It wasn't part of the, it was never a permanent program. It's a program that was started as a result of COVID. And I'm happy that it is being extended by an additional year. We'll wait to see what happens in the budget moving forward on this and many other housing initiatives.
Okay. You touched on the Accelerator Fund. The NDP is also holding you to a one-time $500 top-up of the Canada Housing Benefit to help low-income renters who've been hit hard by inflation. Good idea?
Well, the Canada Housing Benefit, again, is helping literally hundreds of thousands of people. In my home province of Ontario, 50,000 Ontarians.
Right. Is the top-up a good idea? Are we going to see that?
I think the program is working really well. Let's see the budget tomorrow, and we'll see what the details are in there. But I can tell you the Canada Housing Benefit is a very important program. It's a game changer. This is the first rental supplement program that the federal government has unveiled, and it's working really well. And people are being impacted very positively by this program.
All right, Housing Minister Ahmed Hussen, good of you to take the time tonight, sir. Good to see you again, and we'll watch for the budget. Take care.
Thank you so much.